Okay, hello everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto. My name is Sam and welcome to another episode. Now we'll try to make this really quick, and so let's get into it. This is 2010, the first wave ever, and what I want to show you right here is if we say this is the bottom at that time, so at 5 cents, and this is the deepest point of the correction after moving upwards. So this is at around 13 cents. And if you make this calculation, you see that the bottom is 2.6 times away from this deepest point of the correction at that time. So 2.6. If we move forward to the next first wave, so this is in 2012, and when you say this right here is the deepest point of the correction, so let's say $2, and this is the deepest point, this is the deepest point after the bear market, and this is the deepest point of the correction at $3.81, and you make the calculation, you get $1.90, not 90 cents, but 1.9 times is the difference between these two. So again, we're close to 2 times. And when we go to the next first wave, this is this one in 2015 after the bear market. And if you do the same right here again, so let's say this is the deepest point, so nearly $163.90, and the deepest point of the correction after the first wave is at $298, and if you make the same, you get 1.8 times between these two price targets. So again, we're close to the 2 times, and so we had 2.6, 1.9, and 1.8, and if we do the same right here for the current wave, so this is the bear market, and then coming right here to the first wave, and the deepest point I got right here is at 3,100. I took $52, and let's say we get something, so the deepest point of this correction will be 1.85 times higher, then we are around $5,831. If we say, all right, we always come a little bit down, so the first time it was 2.6, then 1.9, then 1.8. What if this time it is 1.7? Then we come to $5,358. All right, and I'm showing you this because I think you all know I said that I think we will come close to $6,000, and if you make this calculation, it seems to make sense to see this, and it explains also why we're seeing this big drop, or why we saw this big drop, and we're not really moving higher at the moment. And the last time we tried it, we came down really hard. So yeah, makes sense that we're not really moving upwards right at the moment, and every time we try to, like here, we come back down again. So this is what I want to show you. And you all know that a part of the 4-wave theory is the 3 tests of the channel line. So I said, what if this is our channel line? So I'm not going to the deepest right here of this wicks to make the channel, so I'm not doing it like this. I'm staying a little bit higher and say this is our channel line, and if we do it like this, then right here we're at $6,000, and this price target makes sense. If you take a look at this point right here in my previous video, or the one before, I showed you that this right here testing or retesting this support level makes really sense before we move on to the next wave. So and if we come down to this point, this will be close to $6,000. And yeah, so this right here, this really makes sense if we say, okay, we will be 1.85 times away higher than at the bottom of our last bear market. So what I think at the end is that our third low where we test this channel line will be inside of this yellow box. Okay, because if this also plays a role, if you take a look at that, so this is 5,358. If we go down to this level, it's somewhere, right here. So I mean, look, right here we also have important price action on the way up, and we also have this little support when we were on the way down. So this also makes sense to come down to this price level. We had price action right there, and if you go more to the left, then you see, yes, something happened at that point. So maybe we go down to $5,358. So I'm just saying, prepare for this zone. I think it is very likely to come if there is a drop. All right, and now I want to show you something else. So if you're in the Discord, in our Discord, then you know that I started using FIB circles. They're really good to to find pivot points and to get an idea of what might come. And as you can see, in this is a bigger FIB circle right here. So I started from the very top right here when we came to close to $14,000, and then I tried to find the best positions for creating these FIB circles. And yeah, this right here, I think, is the best way I could do it. As you can see right here, price respected this ring. After moving over, we had this big pump, and then we found resistance right there coming back down. And when we were right here, so we had this point where we came close to it, then we start pumping up again, and as soon as we crossed it, we came down, then came to this ring, found support on it. As soon as we crossed it, we came down to the next one. We're inside, we're getting resistance, and yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about right here. And at the moment we're playing with this ring right here and this ring right here. So when I zoom in a little bit, you can see that this is really playing a role right now. This one as well. If I go to the 1 hourly chart, I think you can see it much better. So as you can see, we came down, found support on this green ring right here. Then we had this resistance and support play with this green ring right here. Yeah, and at the moment we're fighting again with this ring. I think if we find support on it, then there is a chance for another leg up. So if we see this pump, what is possible? So considering historical price movement, then there are two scenarios. The one is we come up to this level right here, so to the 8.5 K and 8.6 K to this level, and then get rejected, or we come back and test this support line. So as you can see, this pump right there, use this trend line as a support line, and as soon as we broke it, we started coming down. And sometimes you see price coming back up, trying to get over this trend line, but then get rejected. So this means we would come close to this high, but we would make a lower high. All right, so this is something that I'm waiting right now for. And if we can't make it above this green line and find support on it, then I think it is very likely to come back down to this green line right here. So this would be at yeah, below 8K, somewhere around 7.9K. Okay, now something that I want to show you, but let me first see if you can see better here. Yes. So this is the futures chart, and what I want to show you right here is we are inside, so we have this big drop, and now in my opinion we're forming this ascending broadening wedge formation, all right, as you can see. And this is something, if you go to the pattern side of Bulkovsky, there, who is a or was, I don't know, a real good trader, he shows there what an ascending broadening wedge is. And what I want to show you right here is he says that it can be a continuation pattern. So 81% breakout in the same direction as the leading to the pattern, and they tend to outperform reversals too. All right, so 81% breakout in the same direction as continuations. And if you take a look at this right here, what you can see is we are really seeing the same pattern, a ascending broadening wedge pattern. And now what is important for us, we have to watch if price starts moving back up to this resistance line right here, because here he says this partial decline. So a partial decline works 65% of the time. See the link, all right? And yeah, a partial decline means that when we, this right here, so you come back down, but you don't go all the way down to the support line. You start moving back up and then break this resistance level right here. And if that happens, we come very close to this main trend line of the falling channel that I always talked about. So we have this main trend line right here, and if we break this wedge, then we're very close to it. So at the moment it is at around $9,500. If we break this level, I expect a real nice pump upwards, because people will be very bullish if that happens. But yeah, like I said, 81% probability that this is a continuation right here. And if that happens, I think it's very likely that we come down to these levels. So this really makes sense to me, but honestly, I didn't see anyone else talking about this formation. Maybe you saw it. So I'm excited to see what they say. But yeah, I think this is a ascending broadening wedge formation, and makes really sense to me that we will break downwards. Then I also want to show you something, or give you a date. So what I expect at the moment, after using these fib circles and everything else of my analysis, I think it is very likely that next week and this is the 16th of October, that we have the big drop. I think in the middle of next week we will have this big drop. If we say, all right, this is the channel line, so I go to the daily chart. Yeah, so what you can see right here is, so if we say this is the channel line right here, and we say we come down to $5,700, all right, then if we have the drop on the 16th of October, we come down to this level right here, and here we have a lot of intersections. So we have this channel line, we have this yellow line. So this yellow line comes from this support level right there from the bear market that I always talk about. Yeah, this is right here. Then we have this green Fib circle right here who comes right to this point, very close to this point. And yeah, so I think this could play out. I'm not saying 100% on the 16th of October we have this big drop, but at the moment it makes sense to me that next week is the week where we have this big movement that everybody is waiting for, and we will break out of this ascending broadening wedge formation. Makes sense to me. Maybe we have one another test of this resistance level if that happens. So this could be close to $8,800 if that happens. From that point on, if I don't see it breaking upwards, I will start a big short position and play this thing all the way down to the $6,000 level. All right. But if you see the drop, guys, be careful, because like I said, this is only because of calculation, historical price movement. This line right here is also not 100% sure, because you could go, like I said, from the points of the wicks, the deepest points of these wicks, and if you do it like this, then you're at $5,400. If it doesn't happen next week, as you can see, we're going down lower and lower and lower. All right, and honestly, I don't think that below 5K makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me, although we have this price action right there. There are also people saying that we go down to $4,200. This also makes not that much sense to me. I don't think that we will have this kind of drop, because if we go down to this level, guys, this would be another 50% correction, and this is, in my opinion, is just too much. But be prepared for it. So now you know my opinion, what I think is very likely, and yeah, just try to play it. We talked about the altcoins. I told you that there are a lot of bullish patterns, and I gave you the levels and said watch out for them, because if we break them, then we could see a nice pump, and this is exactly what happened. So yeah, so I hope you made some gains. So for example, let's take a look at Matic. Yeah, I told you guys this is a falling wedge formation, and it's very likely to have a pump. And yeah, this is what happened. And I don't think this is over, but what is likely is to come back down to this level, test it, and then move upwards, or have a little correction, come back down to this level right here to see if this is still support, and then move upwards. Yeah, but this is just the beginning, in my opinion. I think it will move higher and higher. This is Link, for example. I showed you this formation when Link was down there and said, hey guys, when we break this level, look, this is still the same yellow line. In my previous video, I showed you this line and said, if we break this level, I expect a real big pump. And yeah, so this is what happened, guys. So this is my opinion. I hope it is helpful. Watch out for middle of next week. I think something big will happen at the moment. And if you want to know short term, then like I said, short term is possible to, let's go to 1 only again. Short term, what is possible is to come to this level, so 8.5 to 8.6, to get rejected at around this level and come back down, or to test this support line again, and this will be at around 8,800. But yeah, at the moment I don't think that we will break this level. Like I said, 8,800 makes no sense to me to break this level. I think this is a continuation. Yeah, so this is it. And if you want to know more, join the Discord channel. There I will keep you updated as soon as I see something playing out. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day, and please give a Like if you like the content, like the video, write in the comments what you think about it, and subscribe. Thank you very much.